Okay, so some of these questions are good just to tuck down into the mind, to have ready to begin a deeper conversation. But where are we going to find people to talk to, other than the church courtyard? Well, on the train. I was going into town one morning, and I got on at Padstow, and the train got as far as Riverwood, and these two young, fairly young student girls jumped on. They had a piece of toast in their hands. Obviously, they hadn't quite got through breakfast, and they jumped down in front of the seat in front, and they were carrying on a great conversation. And I can speak a bit of Nepali, so I just leant over and joined in the conversation with them. And they answered me in Nepali, and then all of a sudden they looked around and they said, "Hang on, what are you doing speaking Nepali? How do you know this?" And they swapped the seat round and came, and it started a friendship that we've had for a couple of years now at least. That we've done quite a lot of things with these girls, including being able to take them to things at church and many activities, and also help them out in various ways in helping them with the resumes for jobs or taking them for medical assistance, all these sorts of things. So just purely by being open on the train even. Standing in queues. We all spend a lot of time standing in queues and sort of look like we don't know anyone around us. Well, we could talk. At work, of course, shopping, and of course our neighbours. On one side, where we live, we have Muslim neighbours, and it's been interesting to see how in their times of need they've come across to us to ask for help, and we had the opportunity to be there for them. So where else? We go to gatherings of people from different countries, and of course because of our association with India and Nepal, we end up at the Nepali gathering of the Non-Resident Nepal Association. It was a big gathering in 2008. There was about,
probably about 4,000.
4,000 there at that stage, and we met up with so many of our friends that we'd met there. We were there recently, just a couple of Saturdays back, and
I would say that they've got on their website that there were 16,000. I don't believe that, but it probably was. It was a lot more than the time before. Probably, I would have thought it was up around 8,000, 6,000 to 8,000. But it's
very handy because they can find us much more easily than we can find them, because Tim's about a head above them all in height. So, but last time we were there, in 2008, we were there. A young man came up to us and introduced himself. We struck up a friendship with him, and subsequently then was able to meet him again when his new wife came out to visit, and go into their home, have them in our home, and even share the Jesus film with them. So there are opportunities where we can just go and well, maybe not so many Caucasians are there, maybe they're mostly the other nationalities, but it gives us an opportunity.
When we were there a couple of weeks ago, one of the people who came up to talk to us was one who actually used to go to your Easy English classes, and he came up to talk to us. So that sort of opportunity through things like the English classes is also a way to help build those, get those contacts, to build friendships.
Mm-hmm. The church at Naui held a dragon boat festival in June, where I think about 120 Mandarin speakers and of Chinese descent came and enjoyed. Oh, it was really fascinating, the sorts of dances that we enjoyed, and singing, and even a 92-year-old man was performed singing. We have some people in our church that are seeking to reach out to the Mandarin speakers around even our area. And next Saturday we have a Mid-Autumn Festival, and again it's just going to be cultural dances and entertainment, and there will be a message, a gospel message in Mandarin and in English. I'll pass these out just in case you have a friend who you could pass them on to, or to take it to. There is an RSVP just at the bottom there. Contact Sue Pick if you can join next Saturday, but it will be predominantly Chinese people.
Another thing that we've done, and they're interested in, is to ask them to our celebrations. So we run a carols in the school, just down the road from the church, and we've asked them there. And they're actually very keen to come because they want to know what our celebrations are. They know theirs, but they want to know what what celebrations are. And it's a good way of developing friendships. We've also, we usually double that one up by inviting them to our house first and have the opportunity to just tell them what Christmas is or what Easter is. Tell them the story. Just simply, you know, what the stars are. You can see the stars in the shopping centre. Why there's a nativity scene. What's it mean with shepherds and wise men. So we're able to actually explain that because often they've never heard it.
Never.
Never. They do not even know what Christmas was about at all, and they've never heard of it. They may not have even heard of the name of Jesus except in our bad language. And a couple of years ago, a good friend of ours from Marrickville, she invited the people who worked at the local fruit shop to her home to have a Christmas dinner. These people didn't know what Christmas dinner was even. They'd never seen so. So she put on the roast dinner with everything and the plum pudding and the traditional English Christmas dinner. And afterwards, and she invited us too, and as we were talking to them, we found that some of these people had been in Australia for 13 or more years, and this was the first time they'd ever been invited into an Australian's home. So we have opportunities to share hospitality with them and to invite them into our homes and share with them that many are probably missing out on. So we really need to do that. And certainly many of the people that we've had in our home, it was the first home, not from their own culture's home that they'd ever been in. So that is a real opportunity and I think a real necessity.
I tell you Prakash and Neeru's story too. Having had Prakash and Neeru over for Christmas and explaining all about Christmas to them, I was just stepping in to go to church on Easter Sunday and my mobile phone rang. So not many people phoned that, but I looked at it, it was Prakash, so I answered it, and he said, you told us about what Christmas was. Is Easter the same? So I had the opportunity of saying, no, it's not quite, but I'll come over and we'll explain it to you. And of course we were able to take the Jesus film over to share with them as well. So we talked about hospitality, and Romans 12:13, of course, tells us that we are to share with God's people and to practice hospitality. So inviting guests and making them feel welcome. Now, you know, there can be some strange things happen. They maybe want to take off their shoes at the door and things like this, and there are lots of other customs that people have. So I guess our idea of hospitality at the back of our heads is to make them feel comfortable coming in, not just just squeeze them into our mould, but to make them feel comfortable and learn from them. So the hospitality is a way of making them really feel welcome. In a lot of Asian homes in particular, if their hospitality is just really right over the top, you know. So I always try to make sure that we have, you know, good food and plentiful and things that they will really, really like, you know, not like Jim might get on a Friday night or something, but some, you know,